Hi, I'm Dave May, and this is a model setup for a heat transfer or thermal analysis. Those of you who are familiar with how to set up a linear static stress structural model will find this to be very similar, but for those who are new to it, I'll walk through it anyway. To apply any types of load or constraints to a thermal model, first thing we need to do is mesh the model, which we've already done here, and then we can simply apply surface or part or even node-based loading. I'm going to put on select parts, and I'm going to choose this part, and I'm going to apply a heat generation to this entire part. So to do that, I select the part, I right click, choose add, and type and choose heat generation. Now this is in metric units, so I'm in basically watts per cubic meter. If you're in English inch units, you're going to have different unit systems. You may want to switch your units to apply these, because oftentimes even people who deal in English like to put in electrical power in watts, right? So to do that, you can expand unit systems here and just double click on any of them to switch to that unit system. So once you're in the one you like, you can add heat generation, type whatever value you want. Okay. Next, I'm going to add some convections. I'm going to choose just this surface and this base surface here. So I chose surfaces, right? I put on select surfaces, chose a surface, hold control and choose another. Then I right click, go to add, and choose surface convection loads. Now I can calculate a surface convection coefficient based on buoyancy or forced convection. If I know some information about my flow, I can save that to a library once I've calculated it, or I can read from a library. So in this case, I'm going to read from a library and choose this top value in the Algor library, which is basically vertical flat plate convection. And we'll make this something close to room temperature here. We'll say 25°C. Okay. Last thing I may want to do is apply a heat flux. Let me hide these boundary conditions here. So I have some wires down here. Maybe on the end of this wire I want to apply heat flux. Now I could choose that surface, but instead I'm going to pick the points here just so we can look at a nodal heat flux. I can right click and I'll say add, and I'm just going to choose a heat source. Right? On a surface it would be called a heat flux. On points it's a heat source. So these are in watts. So let's say I want, 5 watts of heat going out this end. I would say 5 divided by 4, right? Because I have 4 points, and it's going to have to be divided there. So I say OK, and there we have it.